First and foremost, before we get started, I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rikah Kwadash, and the Barnstones Greek Millstone, Wallet is Truth, and also to those elect that is scattered abroad. I like to say, Shalom, and come back here today with another great, powerful lesson through the spirit and power of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. And the type of day lesson is military to implant all soldiers with C-hip. So I like to say shalom to all our listeners and learners. Hope to sweep you today and guide you back in the path of righteousness and back to your true power, which in fact is Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. So before we start today's lesson, I seen a lesson earlier. I'm backing off GMS Boston. It was a great and edified lesson, and I'm backing off this lesson, even though this is an old news article from 2012, but this is Bible prophecy speaking loud and clear. At the end, it shall speak and not lie. So right now, this is very right here is prophetic right here. It's going down right before our eyes. So now, let's get a little bit of this news article. It says here, it said, now the end begins. It said, under Obama, U.S. Army working to implant all soldiers with RFID microchip. Let's get a little bit more. It said the U.S. military wants to plant nano sensors in soldiers to monitor health on future battlefields and immediately respond to needs. Said, but a privacy expert warns the steps is just one more down the road to computer chip to all. So that we seeing right now that, we coming upon this time. So we know that this right here is going into these super soldiers, these sleeper cells that they already got into place, and also when you get around to look up DARPA, it goes a little bit more into what they're trying to do. We're not ignorant of Satan devices. So right here, they already have this technology, it's dealing with nanotechnology. Also, this new system they are putting into place. All these things gonna be digital, programmable, also implantable. So we already know this came out in 2012 when Obama was the president. We see it right now. They had these things back then, so that the stage was already set. Let's get a little bit more. It says here. It says Let's go down a little bit more. It said right here, that little part right there. It said just one more down the road to computer chip for all. So that's what's getting ready to happen. He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, to receive the charagma in their right hand or their forehead. Hey man, look at here. It's 2024. It's plain and simple. It's right in front of your face. Out of you will hear, out of you will for better. The prophets of old has been prophesied left and right. Starting with the elders of Great Millstone on down, constantly warning you that the MOTB is this grain of rice right in front of your face. So let's read this here. It said the government at gunpoint say you're going to have a tracking chip, says Kathleen Albright, who's with Liz McLaren, author of Spy Chips, said a book that warns of the threat to privacy posed by radio frequency identification, or the RFID microchip, which in fact is the MOTB. We constantly warning you left and right. We seeing these things, they, was back in 2012. Once again, I'm lambacking off GMS Boston. If you get a chance, go and look at his lesson. It was very edifying too. I'm just putting my, just expounding on it, putting my twist to it. But it says here, it's always in a incremental steps. If you can put a microchip in someone that doesn't track them, so everybody looks and says, come on, she says, it will be interesting seeing where we go. So we already know that this is going to be about tracking and tagging. It's going into these digital IDs, this biometrics. So all that, that grain of rice is going to be implanted in your right hand or in your forehand. And what the Neuralink, these lying wonders. So this technology is here, so it's going to work hand in hand with this new currency, this new 5G, 6G blockchain system. And also it's going to work with what? Transhumanism, AI, robotics, All these things already put into place. The devices, you know what I'm saying, of the what? Of the wicked. You know, they're getting ready to bring it forth, to bring forth that total control. One world currency, one world government. You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, one world order. You know, already knowing we coming upon this time, you know. One world religion. So we seeing that it is here, it is at the door. So this is what they want to do with the military. It's already has begun. So a lot of these soldiers in the military has this so-called C-hip implanted in this RFID. You know, I don't want to go too deep. So let's get a quick precept. Let's go here. So we're seeing that this technology has been here for some time. So the stage is set. All things are ready. So all roads lead to that what? That grain of rice. So let's go here. It says Jeremiah chapter 28. Let's get a quick precept before we start today's video. Jeremiah chapter 28 and verse 8. It said, the prophets that had been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and against great kingdoms of war and of evils and of pestilence. So we already know that the prophets of old, you know, they prophesied of what? A war, evil, and pestilence. You know, same thing now, you know what I'm saying? So the spirit of the prophet is subject to the prophet. So one thing about it is that, you know what I'm saying, in that day they shall know that a prophet was among you. We warning you about this see-him. We warning you about, that hour of temptation. Also, we warning you about what? Jacob's trouble. All these things are coming, a time of trouble that we have never seen before. Also, we telling you about World War III, left and right. The war drums are beating. These things are right in front of your face. We seeing right now that America is going to be attacked with these super soldiers, these sleeper cells. But one thing about it, when the enemy come in like a flood, the Lord is going to lift up that standard, supernatural intervention that you will have will be beyond your comprehension. What's getting ready to come upon this earth, and also the Archangel Michael is getting ready to stand up for the children of Israel. It's getting ready to go down. We're seeing it right before our eyes. So let's read it in the NLT. It says, "Here's the ancient prophets who preceded you and me spoke against many nations, always warning of war, disaster, and disease." So one thing about it, that's what the prophets of a great millstone, starting with the elders and the apostles and on down, and the one that have the likewise doctrine. So we see it right now. We're constantly warning you each and every day. That's why the Lord said, keep not silent. Warn them for me. I mean, get on your asses. And one thing about it, whether you will hear or whether you will forbear. So we seeing right now, this devil is getting ready to come down with great wrath because he knowing that his time is very short. We constantly warn you each and every day. And we know that we sound like a broken record, but these are the times that we're living in. It's right before our eyes. Started back when this wicked Obama was in office, and man, they've been planning this for years. So we already know that this enemy is getting ready to strike. But when he strike, the Lord is getting ready to what? To strike right back. We're in that transition to power. We are very excited. Verse 9, it said, the prophet which prophesied of peace, when the word of the prophet shall come to pass, then shall the prophet be known that the Lord had truly sent him. So in that day, you're going to know that the prophet was telling you the truth. The Lord's word will not return to him void. This Bible is faithful and true. Whether you believe it or not, it is going to happen. These prophecies are speaking loud and clear. So let's read in the NLT. It says, verse 9, it says, so a prophet who predicts peace must show he is right. Only when his prediction come true can we know that he is really from the Lord, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua. So one thing about it, we seeing it happening right before our eyes. So a lot of people right now are constantly saying these guys that are teaching in this dress, or we thought was teaching hate speech, these guys are telling the truth. These things are lining up just like clockwork. One thing about the Lord is constantly exposing all lies and deception. The truth is coming, full circle. Truth is being declared. And also one thing about it, you cannot do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua. So now let's go to Isaiah. Let's get a note before we start today's video. Let's go here, Isaiah chapter 42. This is what the Lord is doing, is showing a new thing right now. Let's go here to Isaiah chapter 42 and verse 9. Let's go here right quick. And it reads, it said, behold, the former things are come to pass, and New things do I declare before they spring forth. I tell you of them. So that's what the Lord has been doing constantly, setting up, sending out his prophet, warning before destruction. He tell you before they come to pass. That's what we constantly warn you left and right, because when the Lord bring it, there will be no more talking. Judgment is now at hand. One thing about it, we know that we're at the beginning of sorrows, great mourning, great persecution. And one thing about it, it's getting ready to be a global event that you have never seen before. The hour of temptation, the hour of technology. So this technology is getting ready to come upon this earth. And one thing about a lot of people going to trust in this system. They're going to trust in this so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks of, and you will be totally destroyed. We're constantly warning you left and right. Do not take it. Don't get enticed. Trust and believe in Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh Shai. So the title of the daily lesson, once again, is Military to Implant All Soldiers with the C hip. So let's start today's video. And after the video, we'll start the lesson. And I hope that you will get edified.
Soldier 2025 is a U.S. research and development project to create an advanced high-tech combat uniform for U.S. infantry. It allegedly contains nanotechnology embedded within the fabric, allowing for chameleonic camouflage and liquid armor. The liquid armor is a mix of polyethylene glycol, nanoscale glass particles, and Kevlar, acting as a type of chainmail with superior flexibility. There are internal sensors monitoring the thermal environment, harmful chemical signatures, or if the soldier is injured, and works alongside built-in medical equipment. It provides situational awareness using mounted cameras, vision aids like night vision, sound detectors for three-dimension audiological hearing, and face visors with heads-up displays to show maps, fellow troop movements, and other intel. Real-time communication is built in, allowing soldiers to hear one another and receive orders directionally from superior officers. There is an internal respirator, negating the need for gas masks. Finally, there is an exoskeletal structure on the legs that permits the soldier to carry 2 to 3 times their body weight without hindering speed, mobility, or endurance.
The possibility of having a microchip in your hand is now a reality. The first to do this were Swedish residents back in 2017. As each year passes, more Swedes have been receiving the implant as its multifaceted functions, from opening doors, making purchases, or even checking out books, is more convenient than carrying keys or credit cards around. In the U.S., these implants cost approximately $300. While they aren't always placed in the right hand, I believe this is a sinister step to what's to come. A company called BlackRock Neurotech implanted its first brain chip in 2004 and has already created an updated version. This has been used by paraplegics to help with their everyday functions. The fact that we have both implants here are not coincidental. With countries all over the world thinking about converting to digital currency to follow China's new digital yuan, and with AI being called to rewrite the Bible, it's only a matter of time now before one world currency and one world religion occur. I pray that you all study the prophecies of what's to come, be intentional with your faith, and keep your eyes on the end prize. God bless.
This is the injectable microchip DARPA wants implanted in the brain of every soldier. The Brainstorms chip will allow recipients to control weapons with their thoughts and turn off emotions like fear and anxiety. Brainstorms uses nanotransducers that are guided to the brain with magnetic waves. Once at the target site, they convert neuronal activity into magnetic signals that can pass through the skull to be decoded by a helmet-based receiver. Patents show that this technology can even modify neural wiring, which raises the terrifying question: does the bidirectional design mean that soldiers can also be controlled?
Unbelievable, isn't it?
I got one more. I'll show you this one here. Hold on one moment. Let's see. Let's go to the... Hold on one moment. Let me get to it. It's got one more. Here it is. Here.
So the military made us get this chip in our wrist. See what it's a little scar right there. My husband doesn't believe me, so I'm gonna play with my hand.
No, you don't.
Yes, I am. You have to have it in your wrist. One back on the bottom. So what I can do is connect my debit card to it.
Can you pay?
Waiting for your transaction to complete. Yes, you do. He does not believe me. That's why I'm recording. You don't believe me. Give me that.
They been had that. You ain't never told me.
Baby, wait, you look at the bag down here. You don't understand how far technology is coming. So I already signed the paperwork. Yes, we're gonna get one in our baby's wrist, but they can't get it until they're 3 years old.
Now you see that this lady is trusting in his technology and don't even knowing that it will cause her life, even her entire family, because what? She do not trust in her true power. We seen that right there. The husband did not know nothing what was going on. She just up and doing things. That's why I said the earth is out of course. Also, a lot of people's are out of order right now, but the Lord's getting ready to bring forth that righteous order. So the husband did not know that. Also, she was talking about microchipping her children. So we already know where this is going. And one thing about it, that if you submit or if you consent, you are going to be trodden underfoot. You will be totally destroyed, and you will have to suffer that second death, which in fact is the lake of fire. What is the lake of fire? That is America, Babylon the Great. This place is going to be totally destroyed, including you, because you did not what? Trust in your true power. So let's start here. It's a good point to start right here. Just a quick lesson through the spirit and the power of Yahweh Shai. It said, Isaiah chapter 36 and verse 6 said, Lo, thou trusted in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, talking about this system. And Egypt is hand in hand with the house of bondage. We know that we're not last captivity. We're in the land of our captivity. And the Lord is getting ready to return and deliver us with great glory and great power. Whereon if a man lean or if he depend or if he trusts, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So it would go into his right hand or left hand, or it would go into his in his forehead. That Neuralink, that grain of rice. These things are right in front of your face. Wake up. Said, pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him. So we know in the modern day of Pharaoh is the so-called white man, the devil that the Bible speaks, and all that trust in his system, trust in his technology, his wickedness, his devices. And one thing about it, he's trying to get that advantage. He want total control to make you a petrol slave. That badge of servitude, which in fact is the charagma. And one thing about it, a lot of people right now, the woman don't even know that she's already is the walking dead. And one thing about it, that you're seeing right now that, the Lord is getting ready to return and do a mighty work. We seeing right now, this technology is here. And we already know that we are at the beginning stages of this transition to this digital programmable, also implantable society. I did a lesson, I think about a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, about those super soldiers. I had to look it up again. If I can find it, I'll repost it. It goes in a little bit more detail about the military and what they're trying to do, to bring forth these super soldiers. We already know what they're trying to do. This is going to be the war in heaven when the Lord returns, but the Lord's going to make a speedy witness of them. Let's read this once again. It says here, Isaiah chapter 36 and verse 6. Let's read in the NLT. Said on Egypt, if you lean on Egypt, it will be like a reed that splinters beneath your weight and pierces your hand. Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, is completely unreliable. So one thing about it is that, you believe in these lying wonders, these lying miracles, you will be totally destroyed, and one thing about it is we seeing a lot of people going to like the convenience of just wave your hand. It's very convenient. It's very safe. It is harmless. And one thing about it is that, we'll never trust thy enemy. As iron rusts, so is his wickedness. And one thing about it, we already know it. This man, history is nothing but what? Killing, destroying, shedding blood everywhere he go. He's the harbinger of death. Why should you trust him? We're here to help you. I can make you see again. I make you walk again. I can make you out a superhero. But one thing about it, we're going to trust and believe in Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. The Lord is in perfect control. Out of the left-hand side or the right-hand side. So the Lord is doing a mighty work right now. So we're seeing that this technology is right in front of your face. And one thing about it, everyone on the planet is getting ready to make a decision. Everyone faith is getting ready to be tried. If you do not have faith and work, you're going to totally destroyed. You're going to die. So now let's go to the main course. Not to meant to be a long lesson. And Let's go here to Revelation chapter 13 because it's speaking right now. It's at the door. Let's go here. Let's start up at verse. Let's see where I'll start up at. Let's start up at verse 15. And it reads, Revelation chapter 13 and verse 15 says, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and call that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. So we coming upon this time and out about what is this image, it's talking about this system, this new 5G blockchain system, dealing with this AI, transhumanism, what I'm saying, biometrics, a lot of these things are coming into play, that grain of rice, these things are here, this technology is in place, it's 5G, 6G, it's going to deal with the currency, also we already seeing what's going on in China, everything that's going on in China is getting ready to come to America, and out about it, we already know what the beast is, the revived Roman Empire, so we seeing right now that we're here. There's no new thing under the sun. So a lot of people, they're going to get enticed. A lot of people are going to trust and believe. And some people, not going to be a part of this system. They're going to say, I'm not going to take it. And one thing about it, that's why they have these FEMA camps in place, these guillotine, so a lot of people will be put to death. But the Lord said, be thy faithful until death. I will give you a crown of life, immortality, rulership, spiritual power, dominion. The Lord is getting ready, set the record straight. Let's read this once again. It says here in verse 15, it says in the NLT, it said he was then permitted to give life to this statue so that it could speak. Then the statue of the beast commanded that everyone refusing to worship it must die. So we coming upon that time. So this image, this system, this technology, it's right before our eyes. So we already knowing right now they want to pretty much ship everyone in the military. So a lot of these people that right now are going to the military have enlisted. Right now on right now on active duty. They don't even understand what's getting ready to go on. We're in a spiritual warfare right now. A lot of them going to try to, they're going to go ahead and take it because, they're thinking about their family, their resources, what they accomplished. Say, hey, this is not the market to be, it's very convenient, safe. They're here to help us. It'll make us better. It'll make us stronger. One thing about it that, these are lying wonders. And one thing about it, a lot of people going to believe in that lie and they will be totally destroyed. So we're seeing that this system is in place. The NWO, we are here, total control. Verse 16 said, and he causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, the charagma. So that's what's getting ready to happen. These RFID microchip, whereby they will be able to track and tag, monitor everything, have you under surveillance 24/7. He want that control, and one thing about it, he wants to be like the Most High, but he's in for a rude awakening. So let's look up that mark right quick. We already know that it's the charagma, that grain of rice. So all these things are here. Let's go into the interstellar right quick. Just a very quick lesson. Let's go here to that mark. Let's go down here. Let's see, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark. Let's go to this mark, G5480. Let's go here. It says here, charagma.
Strong's G5480, charagma.
Charagma. So we're seeing that's that mark, that badge of servitude. It's a stamp, an imprint, mark. You see what it here? It says a mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as a badge of the followers of the Antichrist. But we know that there are many Antichrists. If you don't believe in the Lord, you calling a white man Jesus, you are a Antichrist. If you are going out voting, constantly getting along with this system, then you are a Antichrist. One thing about it, if you don't know the true names of the Heavenly Father and don't know who you are, and don't know who the enemy is, then you are a Antichrist. You are going to be totally destroyed. See here, it says theme, carved, sculpture, graving. Let's go back up. Let's see. It says here, it says a scratch or etching, stamp, as a badge of servitude, So one thing about it, so that will be an idol that you're gonna be bowing down to. And one thing about it, the Lord said, don't have any idols before or no other gods. And one thing about it, if you do that, then the Lord is going to totally destroy you. And one thing about it, He already have the elect. We will not bend a foe. So let's go back out. Let's read it once again. It said, Revelation chapter 13 and verse 16 said, and He causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark to charagma, the badge of servitude, in their right hand or in their forehead. This Neuralink. They already have these things into place, these lying wonders. These things are here. Stage is set. All things are ready. We goes over these things left and right. Amen. It's at the door, that hour of temptation. So it's going to be a global event. It's going to affect everyone on the planet, regardless of your nationality, regardless of your background. Everyone is going to receive this mark. If you refuse, then you will be beheaded. Taken to these facilities, to these FEMA camps, and also to these chipping states. And also we know that hokey pokey is getting ready to come back into play too. They could call a lockdown, a mandate, you know what I'm saying? One thing about it will be mandatory. But one thing about it, we're going to trust and believe in Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. We know that the Lord is in perfect control. And one thing about it, He's only doing the will of the Lord from the left-hand side. And one thing about it, the Lord is a master chess player. But we're seeing it playing out, real time. We'll rejoice. How long, O Lord? Verse 17, it says here, it said, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So one thing about it, that, you will not be able to make any type of transaction, no buying and selling, no borrowing, no, pretty much you're going to be shut off from society. It's already said, the WEF already said that, the part of this new society, this new system, a way of doing things, you're going to have to take it under the skin. And one thing about it, you will not be able to do anything, work. You will not be able to go buy a food, you go to your favorite restaurant or go anywhere, because one thing about it, they're going to have you on total lockdown. You will be the enemy of the state. But one thing about it, you'll be a servant of Yahweh by Hashem Yahweh. If you're a part of the elect, the Lord will protect you, and He also will provide for you. So we already seen in those couple of videos, He's showing you that the chip is already here. It's been here over there in Sweet. They're chipping their employee. They're going around buying and selling with that chip. So the technology is already at the door, so we know that any given day, they're getting ready to make this mandatory, unrighteous decree, dictatorship, Tartarian law. But one thing about it, the Lord is getting ready to show up and show out. So now verse 18. So, it's going to be dealing with, biometric, it'll be dealing with these barcodes, these QRV codes, if I'm not mistaken, scanning and tracking. A lot of these things are coming into play. Verse 18 says, here is wisdom. Let him that has the understanding count the number of the beast, for it is a number of a man, and his number is 600, 666. That's that badge of servitude. So when you go into that word tri-style stigma, it goes into these Roman soldiers. They had that tattoo, a branding, a tattoo, to let them know that they was they had bowed down to this army, or they belong to this army, or belong to that system, that government. So one thing about it, if you bow down to this idol, you will be totally destroyed. We constantly warn you left and right. So this going to go into these universal barcodes, these scanning and tracking. So you understand what I'm saying? So we're here, so one thing about it, we got to stay prayed up. We got to watch, redeem the time wisely, because right now, things are getting ready to jump off. All hell is getting ready to break loose. So now let's go to our last and final script. Let's go here to Second Ezra. Let's go to Second Ezra. We'll close out here. Second Ezra chapter 16 and verse 68 said, For behold, the burning wrath of a great multitude is kindled over you, and they shall take away certain of you and feed you, being idols with things offered unto idols. And out about, we already know what that idol is, that grain of rice, that Neuralink. A lot of people going to get enticed. A lot of people going to be consumed. They're going to trust and lean, and they will be totally destroyed. And one thing about it, they're going to take you away and feed you things being idle, to these FEMA camps, to these facilities, to these shipping stations. And that great multitude is already kindled over you. We're seeing all these warships, in the Atlantic, in the Pacific, also over there in Alaska. A lot of these things are happening. Also, they constantly are doing military drills, very off the coast of Florida, 90 miles over there in Cuba, also Venezuela, and also, these alliances are coming together. So we already knowing that, they shall burn the horse. So we seeing that these things are lining up. We seeing that the Lord is constantly moving the chess pieces around. We are here, guys. We are here. Stay prayed up and trust and believe in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. He's the only way, and he is the only answer. Verse 69, he said, and they that consent unto them shall be had in derision and reproach and trodden underfoot. So that's what's getting ready to happen. You're going to have to suffer that second death if you trust in this system, if you trust in this technology, if you trust in the so-called white man, you will be totally destroyed. And one thing about it, the Lord said, do not take it. Verse 70 said, for there shall be in every place and in the next city a great insurrection, that those that fear the Lord. Verse 71 said, they shall be like madmen, sparing none, but still spoiling and destroying those that fear the Lord. That's why the Lord's going to have to lift up their standards. So we know that they're going to come in with these super soldiers, these sleeper cells, these UN troops, Russia and China in collaboration with NATO. These things are getting ready to happen. This place is getting ready to burn like an oven. This place is getting ready to be a war zone. This place is getting ready to be a third world country. And also, this place is getting ready to be totally destroyed, and we cannot wait. Trust and believe in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. And one thing about it, the Lord said he will provide for you. He will protect you in these times of trouble. And one thing about it, the Lord's getting ready to do a mighty work. Verse 72, it said, for they shall waste and take away their goods and cast them out of their houses. So we already know that this coming upon us, great economic collapse, they could cause any type of some type of terrorist attack. We're not ignorant of Satan's device. So once this thing happens, going to be sedition among men, insurrection, civil war, all sorts of things, killing and being killed, and all sorts, robbing, stealing and killing and looting. All these things are getting ready to happen, hell on earth. And one thing about it, if the Lord is not on your side, you will be unalive. Verse 73 said, then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire. So one thing about it is that the Lord is going to protect his elect. And one thing about it, it said, when no harm come near you, And one thing about it, if you are part of the house of David, the true believers of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, and one thing about these 2/3 and also these heathen nations, they're gonna begin to see who the Lord is helping, because the Lord is gonna have the angels camped around you. We will be in the secret place of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. The Lord's getting ready to do a mighty work. Verse 74, it said, hear, O ye my beloved, says the Lord, behold, the days of trouble are at hand, but I will deliver you from the same. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. So the Lord said he will deliver you. You don't have anything to worry about. You don't have any fear. And one thing about it, the Lord is getting ready to do a mighty work. The Lord is getting ready to return. The Lord is coming with great glory and great power. Let's get one more before we close out. Let's go into Revelation chapter 14, because this is the punishment if you take it under the skin. Let's go here to Revelation chapter 14. We'll close out here. Revelation chapter 14 and verse 9. And it reads, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark, the charagma, in his forehead or in his hand. Verse 10, the same shall drink the wine of the wrath of the Almighty, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. Verse 11 is, and the smoke of them up, and the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, and they had no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receives the mark of his name, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. So one thing about it is, it's perfect clear right here what is going to happen to the indignation goes into the Lord righteous anger. So one thing about it is that If you trust and you depend, you constantly, leaning, you know what I'm saying? You constantly want to be a part of this fallen system. You're going to die with this system. And the men of the Lord, we're constantly warning you left and right. If you love it here, you're getting ready to die here. If you live like a heathen, you're getting ready to die like a heathen. If you trust in oppression, if you trust in this technology, if you trust in this system, you know what I'm saying? And also, hey, man, it's plain and simple, man. Trust in Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. He is the only way, and he is the only answer. Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Our salvation is at the door. These Bible prophecies are speaking loud and clear. We're seeing that World War III is about to to pop off. And one thing about it, it's about to get real. 2 very end will be cut off and die. The Lord said, I come not to bring peace, but a sword. It's time to seek the Lord while he can be found. So the title of today's lesson, once again, is military to implant all soldiers with C-hip. So I like to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rekah Kwadash. I like to say, Shalom, Shalom.